It's a topic that is not talked about very much. The first class, I had no idea what to expect, but the topic is truly amazing. Music psychology involves how the brain reacts to sounds and different music. Music psychology takes idea from science and philosophy and leads to the beliefs of how music can change life for the better. Music is something that is difficult to pick up, and I believe for most people who are good at playing music will born with a gift. Being musical takes many talents, like having rhythm and being able to recognize notes. I also believe you don't need to be gifted to be musical. I think for people who aren't gifted musically, music can still be a big gift and a big part of life. A lot of times I'll find myself during the day tapping my feet or using a pencil like a drum. And I think everyone is musical in their own way, but some people are more musical than others because some people live music and others use it as a tool to get through the day. For example, I believe musicians are more musical because they get different vibrations from actually playing an instrument up close. Everyone has their own taste in music, but where does it come from? I think people gain a sixth sense at a young age of music and rhythm. The sense that I believe we all gain comes from our parents or an adult figure in our life. I grew up on 2000s radio pop music from my mom as well as rap music from my dad. When I'm feeling down or need to focus, I put on a playlist I made called Childhood that has all that same music, and it calms me down. Like I was a kid again. I think music has the power to put you at any point in your life, such as good and bad memories, and I believe that is powerful. One of the coolest things we learned in music psychology was how playing instruments at a young age can affect people and how they learn as we get older. We watched a video about children who grew up playing the violin and the piano. In the video, a scientist talks about how learning to play an instrument young connects all of the brain parts. It's very interesting that music can have an effect on learning and growth. Playing an instrument also helps children to learn different languages very quickly because their brain stem is connected with every part of the brain, making learning and growth much easier. Learning music also increases how children interact with each other, makes them more calm-minded and developed. Having learned this, I most definitely want my kids to learn an instrument when they're young because of all the positives. People like music so much. I believe music is deep-rooted within all of us. Music is a getaway from life for most people, including myself. For most people, music starts and ends their days, whether they know it or not. When you wake up, there's an alarm that is a melody. On the way to work or school is music on the radio and the same heading home. For me, music is a way of kind of feeling free, like I have time to myself without worry. I believe it is somewhat the same for everyone as well. It's a way to relax and forget about stress, and that's what is so special about music. I think everyone uses music in a similar way, but everyone also has their own taste. I believe a lot of it comes from how someone is raised and what their family likes. As people get older, their music is at the fingertips, and anyone can like any kind of music. I think if you're raised around a certain genre of music, then you will like that kind of music. And when you go in public events and you hear the music, you'll probably like that music. Personality types have somewhat of a small part of it, in my opinion. As you get older, there are kinds of norms and groups that people will fall into, and I think some people listen to the music of their peers, while others have completely different types of music than you think. I think it's impossible to know what kind of music someone likes based on their group or appearance. Everyone I've ever known loves a genre that you would never expect. I think you get drawn to styles of music by family and friends influence as well as just hearing music in public or on the radio. The reason I think that is because you imagine you were the kid having the best day ever and hear a new song or genre of music. That genre or song is going to stick with you forever as a memory. Music makes people feel every emotion at once. Music sends waves to your brain and through your body interacting with music. Music can make people feel any kind of emotion depending on the song and what's going on in your life. We watched a movie about a Japanese scientist who studied how music affected water. The results were astounding. He found that positive music made water molecules look like crystal snowflakes, and sad songs look distorted and blurry. To me, this study shows how important music is to our bodies. Bodies are made up of 70% of water, so music affects water. The music we listen to affects how the molecules in our body react, and I believe they can help you feel better or worse depending on the type of music you're listening to. Music has a huge effect on our lives, and I believe our music taste can change and acquire other styles and genres. I believe you can acquire musical skills throughout your life by learning and practicing. The Grateful Dead is a band that is very unique and plays all types of genre of music. Fans of the band refer to themselves as Deadheads and think of it as a way of life. To the regular person, Deadheads were looked at as kind of hippies, but to themselves and everyone around them, it was a lifestyle and a family. The band was very popular starting into the 60s to still to this day. The band is well known for improvisation in their music, which is one of the reasons Deadheads would follow the band on tour, living their type of lifestyle of love and peace within the music. An interesting thing about the band was that they had leading ticket sales, but only had one song ever reach the Billboard Top 100. How could that be? I believe that the Grateful Dead was all about lifestyle and experience. To have such a passionate fan base that is willing to follow the band across the country, there has to be something different and special about the band. There was something special about the band. I believe they were not just fans, but a family that shared the same love for the world and for music. The band was so special because they played their songs differently every single show, making people want to come back again and again. The music the Dead makes put the brains of the audience into a flow state, making everyone feel tight-knit. Not only that, but the community outside the conference made it all the more special. Deadheads had a unique and welcoming environment full of like-minded people who just wanted to enjoy life and life's opportunities. I think the environment of the fan base and culture draws in people of all types. The culture was a culture of happiness and music, which is exactly what young people are looking to do. The family aspect of the band and fans also was a draw, because it didn't matter who you are or what you do, you would be welcomed as a member of the family. The Grateful Dead is all about the concert experience. I think to love a band like a Deadhead, though, you would need to attend a concert. I think the music is good, but not life-changing on its own. It's the vibes and the experience that make the Deadheads. I think it's for sure possible to like the music without experiencing it in person, but to truly feel what it's all about is at the concert in person. The reason Dead shows are so memorable is because of the environment and the feelings that arise. When I say anyone is welcome, anyone can come, including deaf people, which they call the Grateful Deaf. Many deaf people enjoyed the shows and were called the Grateful Dead. They could enjoy the sights and vibrations just like everyone else. This just shows what kind of people Deadheads are and why it would be so appealing for people to continuously come back for shows. Yet again, people all have their own experience and things they love about creating music, creating their favorite styles and sounds. I believe a lot of music styles lead to the Grateful Dead because they're so versatile. I think that's another factor of their popularity, because they played everyone's favorite kind of music. When neuroscientists looked at how a brain reacts to the Grateful Dead music, they found that the brain becomes very active with the music, lighting up the scans. The scans show that their music activates the brain like other music doesn't. People use the Deadhead community for support all the time, like I said earlier. The biggest example is the greatest deaf. More examples are people who feel lost and need a feeling of belonging, and the Deadheads give everyone that feeling.
Wow.